It is week 6 of the qualifiers here on World of Dance. And guess what, guys? I can actually see the finish line to the duels.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, you guys, welcome on in to AfterBuzz TV's World of Dance After Show. I'm Kristen Burt. We are so excited to have you guys here. And I was joking about the qualifiers. We have 2 more weeks left. And joining me here tonight as we talk about more and more qualifiers.
Yes.
T, good to see you.
Yes. Oh my God, good to see you. This is so fun. We're getting there.
We are getting there. If you notice that we have not had a full panel yet this season because everyone's been traveling and working and everything else like that. But you're back.
I'm back.
Yes.
I'm back. I'm refreshed. I did a music video I don't know if I told you guys about, what I'm excited to show you guys.
Oh, good.
But I can't say who it's with yet.
Okay.
I don't know if I told but it's fun.
It's coming.
So it's coming.
Okay, we'll look forward to that. And
Yeah.
Shannon and Kim are, Shannon's on another show right now shooting, so she'll be back next week, and Kim will be back next week, and hopefully we'll have a full panel at some point.
Yay!
Some point this season before we end week 16.
We will.
We will make it all happen.
Fingers crossed.
Well, with only 2 weeks left of the qualifier, so I'm talking about next week and then the week after that, how are you feeling at this point, this stage in the game?
This stage of the game, I feel like we're seeing a lot of talented groups. We've seen a few soloists that I'm really impressed with. But yeah, I'm impressed with the talent that's come out. I think that because they had so much time to produce it, they did a good job at picking the right routines to go with each other.
Yeah, it's a balance of editing and telling a story.
Mm-hmm. But I think overall I'm really satisfied with the season, it being only season 2 for them.
And honestly, it's a much better season than season 1. Even though the talent was extraordinary in season 1, some of the things that we were all dissatisfied with, cutting of some of the routines where all of a sudden you're like, wait, that just jumped from like a jump to like a leap that doesn't make any sense. Like they're showing the full routines. We don't feel as rushed as we did last season. It feels a little long with the qualifiers, the way they've spread them all out. I think maybe doubling up on the qualifiers as 2 hours and getting to the duels as quickly as possible might be something they should look at for season 3. Just a thought. But we're getting the time, we're getting to know the contestants. And I think that's really important, which we didn't have that luxury last season.
Right. It's been fun. It's been a fun journey so far.
It's been really fun. And as we said, we've got 2 weeks left. We'll go right into the duels. And I think then the rest of the season is going to go very, very quickly because it's the duels, the cut, divisional finals. I was just going to give you guys a little spoiler, something that I heard, and I don't have enough to elaborate. But I'm just going to let you guys what I know. We'll do it in the news section today because it's something that's been like, that's interesting. Yeah, we'll just drop a little nugget, and then hopefully I'll get some more information. So
great.
Let's get into the night because we have got DNA has returned from last season. That's Dennis and Antonina. They are the loveliest people. I have interviewed them a few times now, and they live in New York, so I don't see them all that often. But just a refresher for you guys, Dennis actually won So You Think You Can Dance Canada.
Oh,
he's a really good dancer. He's really, really good. He has auditioned for the U.S. version. I think season 12 might have been his last time auditioning. They were just at Blackpool, so that's the big ballroom competition. And then they did the World of Dance tour last fall. So they've stayed definitely in the World of Dance mix. So it was nice to see them back.
Yeah, it was nice to see them back. And I think that they added something that I didn't see last season. I think I saw a little bit more spice, a little bit more fire and passion. And I was really impressed.
I felt like they both felt really confident.
Yes.
Not only in their presentation, but also in your dance steps, you're like, I'm solid, I'm grounded, I'm not thinking about what's happening. I think that some of the nerves that got the best of them last season, they were like, we got this, we know what we're doing.
Right, which is great. And it showed. I think everything, I wrote control because I was so impressed with, how well they were in sync. And he put a little muscle on.
Which was like the biggest insult last season from Neo.
Yes.
If you guys remember, he was like, I think you need to bulk up a little bit and do some weights and hit the gym. And the way it came across, it was a little insensitive because I was like, Antonina weighs like 4 pounds. She's so petite and tiny. So I can't imagine that she's all that heavy to lift at all by any means.
Right.
But he took the note though, and I was like, good for him, because I might have been like, meh.
Yeah, well, and as dancers too, I mean, I'm always hesitant to do weight work because I don't like to get bulky.
Right.
So I think that was an interesting note, but he took it to heart, and apparently it's helping.
He did it, and his muscles look good. And
Yeah.
obviously, Antonina's very happy that her husband has a little extra muscle. So
Yeah.
nothing bad about that whatsoever. And if you guys remember, his big... The thing that will always get me with last season, he fell on his tour on Lair. And let me tell you, he is such a good, well-trained dancer that falling on a tour on Lair, it was completely just a freak accident. And I had interviewed them like last August after that episode had aired, and he really was haunted by it. He's like, we can't stop. He goes, we were sick for like months. You know, when it's just something that replays in your brain and you just can't let it go for a while? He's like, it took a long time for us to kind of let it go.
Right.
Yeah. And I tweeted that article, you guys, back out. It's from Dance Network, but I put it on my Twitter feed. So if you want to read it again, it gives you a little kind of context of what they went through after season 1 aired for them.
Right.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's tough.
I've had moments where I'm like, oh God, I
Yeah.
just replay it. Why did I mess that up?
And especially in such a big stage. That's tough.
Yeah, that's a global show for sure. So their scores were great, 85, 89, 89 for a total of 87.7. So I think that was a great way for them to come on back.
Right.
Really strong, super strong.
Yeah, I was impressed.
I was too. Let's also get into Brotherhood next. They're out of Canada, out of Vancouver, of course. And this one, it was interesting because I was not familiar with Brotherhood, although a couple of the crews I've interviewed from season 2 have all mentioned that they look up to Brotherhood. They love their work. They're inspired by their creativity. And so I think in my head already, I was expecting like a ton. And it's like, they almost got there with the creativity, with the choreography, but it's just like they held back a little.
So this is my favorite style to watch. It's the most impressive to me, is the hip hop and the hard hitting movements. And I thought that I was so impressed. And when Chris Brown came on and Run It, I mean, that is like such a jam. I was such a fan, and I loved all the visuals, and I thought that it was innovative. It was stuff that I hadn't seen, and you almost have to watch it a few times to be like, oh, he was the puck and he was going through the goal. Oh, he was, the puck when he was on his arm. Yeah, I don't know. It was. I thought it was very impressive, and I was impressed. I was actually surprised by some of the lower scores, and J-Lo kind of was not on the same page. Didn't think it was the best routine of the night. Super low.
I did agree, because they brought out the prop, so I think that they could have done more with the prop.
Right.
Although we'll all say this, if we've all worked with props, and props can go very, very wrong. And I think if you know that, you know what, we're probably going to be a little bit nervous. This is the first round. Our goal is just to get to the duels. Maybe that's where you go a little bit conservative, and you're like, maybe we won't do as much stick work as we would normally do, or something like that. However, I do think that it's a routine that could actually be expanded, because I think that they definitely have the ability to do so, because I liked the hockey theme. I thought it just worked really well.
Yeah, I loved it, and I loved the choreography that was based on the stage size where they did in the round. It was really cool. I thought that this is my favorite type of routine, so I was impressed, and I thought that they executed it well.
Okay, so if you were going to judge on this, and we'll try all the 20, 20, 20, 20 on the 5 categories. Where would you kind of throw them in? Would you? I obviously not 75.
No, not a 75. I mean, maybe the difficulty could have been raised a bit. So I mean, maybe like I'd probably go with like an 86, 87.
Okay.
I loved it.
It was a lot of fun. I think it had a lot of heart. I was entertained by it.
Yeah.
Although I did think that it could have a little bit more. I probably would have put them about 83. I definitely would have put them through though for the duels. So I always call him, like, I'm gonna call him now non-committal Neo, because he likes, when he's unsure, he puts them in like the 80, 81 category, and he's like, I'm gonna let everyone else decide whether they go through. And J-Lo was definitely like, nope.
Right.
Not going through 75. And Derek's like, yep. And that big swing, that's the crazy thing.
Right.
That big swing between 75 and 85.
That's crazy.
What, 0.3 of a point?
0.3 of a point.
They do by the skin of their teeth. So they obviously would, for the duels, they must have had to go back to the studio and go, okay, we got to throw in everything but the kitchen sink, because J-Lo's like watching us, and she didn't want us there.
And that's the last person you want to not be on your side. She's the one you need. So
It's her show.
right. So yeah, but I was impressed. I thought it was great. So
Yeah, and they had 12 members too. This is the other thing that stuck out at me. When you've got that big a crew, they were very clean.
Right.
Sometimes I get distracted when there's too many, but I thought it worked very well. So I was happy that they went through after all of that.
Me too.
Yeah, it's always a good thing. And you know what else is a good thing?
What?
Yes, talking about AfterBuzz. Because,
yeah.
hey, AfterBuzzers, we want to remind you guys that our network produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows. Lots of them. You just did one tonight, right?
Yes.
So you think you can dance. So everything from dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more. There is no network that works harder to serve our television fans. But we do need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. So not only subscribe to AfterBuzz, but maybe Popcorn Talk, because my show To The Point is on there.
Yes.
And don't worry, don't worry about those pesky notifications. Don't, because they are optional. So that is always a good thing. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel. Check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. And let us know you did in the comments. And we will thank you guys on air next week for week 7 of Qualifiers. For now, thanks for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Yes.
I know. It's, there are a lot of really good shows. Even tonight, every station was full. Everyone was watching something. There's so much going on and kind of exciting.
Yeah, it's fun. And it's fun to be able to communicate with people who are fans of the same show as you. We have so much fun in the live chats and all of our shows, and so it's really cool to be with people who are into the same stuff.
Like-minded, like
Yeah.
all of our dance fans.
Yes, dance fans.
And this next one, you know what? I just want to clarify on something because I didn't mention it, but DNA, of course, is in the upper division, just to clarify. So we have everyone, and Brotherhood, of course, was upper team. Now that I'm like, oops, I forgot that. Vivian Ruiz, it's Ruiz. I listened to that several times because I was like, I want to say Ruiz, but it's Ruiz. She's a junior in the junior division, 16 years old. I want to talk about her because she comes out of one of those major dance studios in Florida. She comes out of Stars Dance Studio. Of course, last season they gave us Diana Pombo. They always have great dancers. Of course, that is run by Victor Smalley, known for So You Think You Can Dance. And of course, they gave us Logan Hernandez on season 14.
Yes, that's correct.
And think about this. Think of Diana, think of Logan, think of Vivian here. Very similar styles. They always have great legs, great feet, strong lines.
Exactly. Yeah, I have some friends that trained with them, trained with Logan, and yeah, I mean it's a rigorous place.
They all homeschool, from what I understand, and
Yes.
they're all they're doing major ballet twice a day, I believe.
But
they're training.
What they get is obviously an incredible product.
Exactly.
I mean, these kids can dance.
This is no joke. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this story. I felt both of us, I think, were on the same page about this. They just needed a story,
Right.
and so it was the heartbreak of teen romance.
Yeah. Which I think it was kind of cute,
Yes,
but a little bit awkward.
a little awkward because I harped on it a lot, and
Yeah.
she is beautiful. And Neo gave some bad dating advice because he's like, he's gonna come back to you. I'm like, do not take him back, Vivian.
Right.
Do not do it. You are beautiful and strong and don't need him.
Right. And you're only 16.
Yes,
You got dance as your boyfriend.
that's right.
That's what my mom always said. She's like, just your hobbies and your activities are your boyfriend right now. So, but no, I thought it was cute, and I thought the story, it was just interesting. And I know I've been in those situations with producers before for random things, and they're like, so what's going on in your life? What can we talk about? And that it's a cute topic because everybody has a story about their first love and their first heartbreak. So maybe that's where they wanted to kind of pull on the strings of the audience a bit. I thought it was cute. Kitschy, and it was just different. I feel like she felt a little bit weird talking about it.
Yeah,
But
when I was in my teens, I always felt awkward about things like that. It
Yeah.
embarrassed me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
But she went out there and delivered.
Right.
They pointed out, it was interesting because when that moment happened and she, her foot went a little sickled, I was
Yes.
like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Are they doing something a little edgy in this moment? But then I have to remember they're coming out of Stars. They don't do anything like that. They've got gorgeous
Right.
toe point. They don't sickle their feet.
well, I'm not sure. I'm
Were you there with me first?
I'm debating whether the sickled foot was. I thought the sickled foot was intentional. I thought the reference was the grounded foot was like it was on the floor and then it was not, and then that was the shaky moment for me.
Ponche kind of like went a little awkward or something.
Yeah, and I thought that this was intentional. The sickled foot. I don't know.
We need to ask Vivian herself.
But I will say I did think the footing was a bit shaky. But you could tell, obviously, it's nerves, it's everything else. But I did agree with Derek that it was a little bit shaky for me. Shoulders could come down a little bit. Okay, I just had to get nitty gritty for 1 second. But she is amazing. She was a great performance.
And the when you have a moment like that, and I think every dancer has a moment like that on stage at one point, and you either snap out of the moment and completely give into the fall, or you go, I got this. You like go to your core, you find that control again, and then you continue on. And I think that's what she did. So that shows you that she's well trained, her mental game is there, and instinct took over in that moment, which is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think it was very trick heavy for me, which I'm a big fan of tricks. If you got a trick, show me. A lot of the same extension for the leg holds, and so I would have liked to see a little bit more movement.
Choreography note.
Yeah, a little bit more body movement. But I did think it was great. She's incredible. Oh, do you think she looks like Haley a little bit?
I did too. That's so funny. She looks like Haley when she was on So You Think season 10.
Yes.
Like
younger.
From afar. Like up close, maybe not really, but from
like
afar for
profile
sure.
Or something.
Yeah, there was some Haley. And we're talking about Haley Erbert, you guys. So, but I definitely thought that there was some similarities there.
Yeah, I thought that was
and
funny.
that is, if you look like Haley Erbert, that's
You're
amazing.
fine. You're good.
You're going to be doing just fine. They're both gorgeous. So the score on that one, and this one was very nice and consistent, 83, 84, 82. So I like it when I like it when they disagree too, because when you have that wide, like in the last one where it's like 75, 85, wow, people really do look at art differently. But also sometimes it's kind of nice to go, okay, they're kind of seeing the same thing. They're not really trying to be different all of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So her average, of course, was 83. She moves on to the duels. And then we go next into the Untouchables. And this one I think is definitely worth discussing. Because first of all, Manny Castro, he is another one out of Florida. I'm telling you, if you really want your kids to train, you send them to Utah. You send them to Florida, or you come out here to LA, or you go to New York City. But Florida is developing some beautiful dancers. Manny Castro is doing a great job. Of course, he's the father of D'Angelo. He's also the father of Ruby Castro, who is competing, and it's Jonas and Ruby, which we saw a few weeks ago, and they are going on to the duels. But D'Angelo and Amanda are back. They're in the Untouchables. They're out of Dance Town, another great studio. And this one reminded me of Swing Latino from last season.
I think they were going for that vibe, it felt like.
Yep.
But they added some different elements, which was nice.
And they were the junior team, so this is kind of, fun and young and everything else. Very, very content heavy.
Right.
So these kids cranked out some major moves. They were talking about this, the Latin house, the bachatas, the samba. How do you say that? Cayopera?
I was hoping you knew.
Yeah, I do know how to pronounce it, and I wrote it down wrong, so I'm like, now I just messed myself up.
No, I thought it was really impressive. There was one thing we were debating if it was a drop in the beginning, where I think that it might have been a lift gone awry, but it was so hard to tell because there was so much going on. But I think that it was great. And those little kids had so much fire and energy. And those lifts, I was so impressed. And those little peanuts on the end.
They're so tiny.
Oh, they whittle.
They're so tiny. I know. Sometimes it's hard. I find that when someone's very petite, they could be 8, but they could be 11.
Right.
Because I was that 11-year-old that would look 8. So that's why I'm like, I wonder how old they are. But I think Manny does a really good job. One thing I'm noticing from the judges, though, and they gave this note to D'Angelo and Amanda last season. They talked a little bit about it with Ruby and Jonas a couple weeks ago, and now they're seeing it here. There is some choreography stuff that they definitely want Manny to maybe hone in on and maybe make things a little bit cleaner, maybe sometimes amp it up. Like if you deliver one thing for the qualifiers, you need to take it to the next level for the duels. And they didn't feel like that happened last year with D'Angelo and Amanda. So they're definitely like speaking to Manny like through the lens. That's what I definitely feel because he's always backstage and they're
Right.
like, "This is what we're looking for. We're telling you." 'Cause
Right.
These kids aren't choreographing. He is.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was a good quote that Neo said. I wrote it down. Energy without focus is chaos, and I think that was very accurate.
Yes.
I think that.
You were like, "This is a great quote." It's
Yeah.
actually a great quote
Just
to
in
have
general.
In general.
Yeah, it helps with life. As well.
Capiera. Capiera. I think.
Capiera.
Yes. I was
You're
like,
good.
I'll get it. But I wrote it down as like Copiera. Whatever my scribble is. I was like, just give me a few minutes, my brain will work. But yeah, that's the type of quote that you definitely like kind of take with you because it serves very well in a business world. It serves well in a creative world as well.
Right,
I was
exactly.
like, I like that, Neo. I feel like this, just a thought on Neo. Do you feel like he's settled in this year? Like I felt last year he was a little bit like trying to figure out what his role was because Derek's very comfortable, J-Lo's very comfortable, and he's more of the musician who can dance.
Right.
And so I felt like he was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to find a groove. And this year he has a groove.
I think he has a groove. I think he now knows how to critique them with what he knows. I think before last year he was like, would this be a valid critique? And it feels like this year he's like, I know the difference between right and wrong in this situation, so that's what I needed to see. I didn't see it, or vice versa. So.
Yeah, and even if I don't necessarily agree with his opinion, I know where he's going with it. Like
Right.
last year, I'd be like, I'm not sure I get that.
Yeah.
It feels more organic this year.
Yes.
So
I agree.
Nice little compliment with Neo. I really felt that. And when it came to the Untouchables, of course, in the junior team category, 87, 89, and 90, everyone was kind of like on the same page. But these were some really nice scores for them.
Yeah. It was great.
There's something very fun about this. So I'm interested to see what they will bring for the next round.
It's tough when you bring out all guns a-blazing, but we've seen it done.
Yeah, because I mean, like, is the Untouchables going to come out there? Because like they're doing like Latin. Are they going to come out with something softer? I don't know. Like it's hard when you're that high energy group. It was like Swing Latino last year. I'm like, how do you keep going up? Because
Right.
the energy, you came out the first week like, wah!
Yeah.
They did it. They definitely did it. But they were like throwing people across the stage.
Right, which was great. But there's a few other routines that we'll talk about later that I felt the same way. I'm like, oh man, you put all the eggs out, and I don't know. I hopefully we can keep
Do
it
you have
going
more
up.
baskets?
Yeah, get another basket. But I'm sure that they have the baskets arranged.
All right, we don't want you guys to forget. We are also a podcast, and we are
Yes.
on iTunes.
Yes, we are.
Yes, and we're hoping that you guys rate us. We would appreciate 5 stars. I'm just going to throw it right out there.
Yeah.
But if you rate us, if you subscribe to us, this definitely helps us get more visibility because, as I've said before, we're a young show. We're only in season 2, and we want to get the word out because we love this show. Season 3 is just around the corner, believe it or not. So it's definitely one of those things that if you're enjoying this, please let everyone else know and share the love.
Yes, we would so appreciate it. We love you guys.
I know we do. We do love all the dance fans. And we appreciate all of you guys that follow everyone from show to show, Dancing with the Stars.
Yes, very
Sync.
nice. Yeah.
So important.
Great.
All right. Next up, we go to, I kind of knew this was going to happen. I felt it coming. I was like, there's always one group every week. They're like, you're not going through.
Right.
ST Kingz in the upper division. They are from Tokyo, Japan. Hip hop comedy here. Something that I thought it's kind of a fresh category, something interesting to do where, because I started out going, oh, this is kind of interesting. This is kind of vaudeville. I'm kind of open to this. But I did feel, I agree with, I think J-Lo, like I was waiting for the dance to happen.
Right. I think when you try to do it all, it doesn't always make the mark. That it just wasn't enough. And I think that it helped that they're from Tokyo and it's the producer thing for bringing the world of dance together. I think it was that was a great reason that they're there. But also, I just didn't make the mark for me.
Here's what I wonder, and this would be something to kind of like fall down the YouTube rabbit hole and find out. I'm wondering how long their routines normally are because they seem to be storytellers. And I wonder if their routines are a little bit longer and they have that solid beginning, build to the middle, and then come to the completion. Where here in World of Dance, they've got 70 seconds. That's it. And if they didn't think about it well enough, thinking, oh, we have to get to the beginning and the middle and the end very quickly. It
Right.
has to be all wrapped in a nice little bow.
That's a great point. That could definitely be a possibility.
Yeah, it's something that I would love to know because I kind of was interested in it. They've worked with Mariah Carey before. They've actually choreographed for her, which I think is fascinating. So I want to go. That was another one that I was like, I need to go down the rabbit hole and see what pieces they choreograph for her.
Yeah, that's interesting. But even when they did get to the dancing or the meat of the routine, I wasn't in awe.
Well, and I think too
with execution
with season 2. I mean, if we go back and even look what was done in season 1, which was incredible, the bar has been lifted even higher this season. And because World of Dance focuses so heavily on hip hop, there is no excuse for showing up with like a B- routine.
Right.
That's where they're at. I think that you can sit there and maybe squeak through a couple rounds with contemporary a little bit more. I think, tap, ballet, some of these other things that aren't seen as much, you might be able to push yourself through farther than hip hop. Because hip hop, we've got major crews, we've got people that are legacies like Poriotics. Last season, you had Jabberwockies out relatively early. So it's just one of those things. They're pushing hip hop and giving it a wide audience, which is fantastic. But you can't be bringing like a good game. You have to be bringing a great game.
Right.
From the get-go.
Yeah. And maybe if the comedy stuff had been just a little bit shorter and just a little bit even heavier, a little more, and then the choreography, I just didn't make the mark. But
yeah, and if you look at, because sometimes you look at a routine and you're like, okay, that needed a little bit more choreography or something, but you're like, the performance was there, the creativity was there. This one, I think, had demerits in several categories.
Yeah.
So this was another one that I was like, everyone's a little bit like, do we put them through or not put them through? 79 from Neo. JLo was like, nope, 78. And then 80 from Derek. So they got a 79, which is like just missing the medal stand at the Olympics.
That's tough.
I'd rather just be at a 75 and be like, I had 5 points to make up. There's no way I could have made it up than like, we were so close because, had someone just given us a little bit more of a bigger score, we would have been through.
Right.
That's a hard one to swallow.
It's tough, but it happens.
It does happen, and not everyone can make it through because otherwise this series would last until the end of the year.
Yeah, and it already is taking some time.
It is taking some time. So they were in the upper division. And then on to, this is a good one. Ashley Gonzalez and Zack Everhart. Now, let's talk about Zack. Okay, well, first of all, Ashley and Zack both did the Third Move Live tour. And Zack, very well known, season 11. He placed 4th in season 11 of So You Think You Can Dance. He's here for contemporary, but he's a great tapper. That was actually his style in season 11.
How funny.
I know, isn't that great? He's a really well-rounded dancer, and I want to say that I interviewed Spencer Liff last week, one of the choreographers for So You Think You Can Dance. He's coming to LA, and he's going to be directing his very first show at La Mirada, which is in like Orange County here. It's Orange County, right? La Mirada?
I believe so.
Because it's closer to Anaheim and stuff like that. So, so of Singing in the Rain in April 2019. And let me tell you, Spencer has loved Zack Everhart since season 11. And he's talked about him endlessly. He loves him. And he's like, I want to use him for Singing in the Rain. So Zack, I do not know if you sing, but now is the time to get into voice lessons.
Yes.
If Spencer hasn't told you, I'm telling you. And someone else tweeted out to him because he'll have a great run. And that theater is owned by Kathy Rigby, who was an Olympic gymnast and then a Broadway star. And it's amazing.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Do it.
That's exciting.
Yes, but let's talk about their World of Dance appearance, because this was a good one.
Oh my gosh. I was also on the same page as JLo, Versace on the floor. Just felt a little bit, because the backbeats are bum, 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 bum. But the dancing was incredible. I mean, the tricks that they were doing were new and innovative, and that's so hard. Now we've had so many dance shows, we've had so many things we've been exposed to, and for Derek Huff to see something that he hasn't seen before is pretty incredible. That scissor drop thing, that was amazing.
He's gonna be like, can you teach that to me? He will. Derek is all about that. He loves to learn new lifts and things like that.
Yeah, I thought it was just incredible, and she is a powerhouse. I didn't see a ton of his ability, but he was such a great partner that it didn't bother me that I didn't get to see a lot of his technique, but overall, it was great.
The one interesting note that JLo made, and she said, I almost didn't put them through because of the song choice. And I almost thought, well, maybe that falls into creativity, like you didn't think out a song well enough. But we also have to remember music clearance is so hard. So who knows what their original song choice was, if this was their original song choice. But would you not put them through because of that? Like, to me, I'm like, no. Because you can fix song choice eventually. Like, you'll find something that'll make you... But what they did out there was way better than some of the things that have been put through. So
I was shocked by that would make the biggest difference.
Yeah, you guys, let me know, like in the comments, like let us know if you think that is definitely something that would make you keep someone back or like hold them back from going to the next round. It's just kind of a weird one.
It's weird.
Yeah. 84, 84, 87. So J-Lo, I didn't feel like she was that much on the fence because it's not like she gave him a 79 by any means. So there was definitely elements that she enjoyed with that piece.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So they are moving on in the upper division. And then we get to, and this is why we opened with John Lennon's Imagine. Now, they did a cover song, which was beautiful. The Rock Company, they are out of Las Vegas. They're a junior team division. They are from the Rock Center for Dance. These kids are trained hardcore in ballet, also Horton technique. Like, I love this, that they're doing some traditional modern dance for them. And I was like, you're seeing all of those elements out there on the stage with them.
Right. I thought that they were so cute, such a cute little camaraderie. It reminds you of, your dance teams growing up. Everybody just best
all
friends.
Like, oh, and they all went boom, 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 boom. It was so cute.
Yeah, they're so cute. I thought it was really great. Obviously the story it's tragic and it's so, for kids to even have to think about that kind of stuff and do a dance like that. So I thought it was really impressive. Their technique's amazing. They started so strong and so incredible, and it looks like contemporary is probably their strongest suit, that I am a little bit worried about this story's been played out. So now what do we have next week? What is next? So...
Maybe they do something very joyful instead of, the nice thing is, we're not going to get political about it, but, it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing when you're a kid, too, to even comprehend that. And the little girl, like, where was my dad? And I was like, I just hate that we're even dealing with this as an issue in our country.
Right.
However, I love that art heals, or art is a cathartic way to sort of work through your emotions and make yourself feel better and feel like you're contributing. Because I think a lot of people that watch it, we were affected by it. I'm like, I'm not crying, you're crying.
Yeah, I know. My eyes were welling up.
I know. And I'm always like, I don't wear waterproof mascara. And I don't have my lashes on. So I have to keep this mascara on. Stuff like that is, it's very effective, and I love that they were able to do that through dance. So I think that's the beautiful thing about it. And their scores, hello.
Wow.
97, 97, 96. So their average was 96.7. And Jenna later went on to say that they were the highest scoring act in the junior team division.
Yeah, I think it's deserved.
I think so too. That opening image was stunning.
Right? I do want to know who their choreographer is. I'm assuming I was going to look that up and I forgot to.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, because I'm wondering if
the
that
director of the...
Don Bellamy is one of their teachers, but I don't know for sure if he is the one who choreographed that. So maybe on Instagram we might find that too, because I know sometimes people tag their dance.
Okay.
But that really was a stunning what's the word I want? Not plateau. Tableau. Thank you.
Yes.
Tableau. My words are escaping me tonight.
Me
it's just
too.
one of those. But it was definitely one of those that I just really thought, what a beautiful picture they're creating there at the beginning.
So sweet.
So sweet. And I love that there is so much happening with World of Dance. I'm going to just kind of throw this little nugget out there because I've been asking around with a lot of the contestants that have done season 2, if I've encountered them in, either whether it's social settings or whether it's in an interview, are you considering season 3? Because we have seen people return from season 1 to season 2. And some of them are saying, it's interesting because the season 3 is going to be happening earlier this year. They're not doing a summer series, they're doing a winter series. Some of them are hoping that they're asked to do World of Dance Tour. And the World of Dance Tour is happening from what I understand. I don't have details on it, but it's going to overlap with the taping of season 3. So you can either do the tour or you can do season 3. So I think that there's a lot of decision making, and who knows who's going to get asked to do the tour, because that they're going to have to, they can't just have all like 16 hip hop acts. You have to have a variety of styles and ages and things like that. So
That's interesting.
isn't that interesting? And then what do you do? Like, do you go back for season 3? Do you feel like you have unfinished business with the TV show? Mm-hmm. Or do you go out there and make some money? Which is also not a bad choice.
Right. Or do you try to get more eyes and then have the tour be more, I don't know.
I don't know what I would do in that situation. And I'm like, if you only make it to the duels, do you want to go, I want to come back if I'm asked back? And then here's the other thing, because deadlines are sometimes different. Like, do you have to decide whether you're doing season 3 way before the tour or vice versa? And like you miss a deadline, sometimes
are you out? Yeah.
Are you out? And then you're completely out of everything if they don't ask you to come back to the show or they don't ask you to do the tour.
Right. I don't know.
Not easy, like, business decisions. I know. So
interesting. That is a good nugget.
Hear things, I will definitely throw that out there. The other thing that I heard, and this is new from season 2, and I need to get more information on this as well, but there is some sort of divisional final award. And I don't know whether it's a monetary award or if they're like, here's a trophy, but there is, outside of the $1 million, there is an additional prize this year.
Oh.
And they have not mentioned it. And someone dropped it, and then the publicist that was there with me was like, boop, boop. So it's something that's coming later.
Huh.
Because the publicist was like, we can't talk about that. I was like, okay, darn it.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I need to kind of ask around and find out what that means. What that means. Yeah, is it monetary? Does it allow, is it a pass to the season 3? Like, there could be lots of like ways to reward people.
Right. Interesting. I don't know.
You get a music video with J-Lo. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, there could be endless possibilities that would benefit your career.
Right. Of course. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. So it's just one of those things that I was like, interesting things that we're hearing about.
Yeah.
That they're keeping things close to the vest.
I like it.
I know.
I like a good surprise.
I do too. Of course, I like to get the surprise ahead of time though.
I like to know the surprise first.
Just first, and then we'll decide whether we can like tell it all. The other thing, and this is another new surprise that's been happening, is that they're going to have 2 days. In 2 weeks, we're going to wrap up Qualifiers. That's going to be on Tuesday. And I don't know the date off. I'm going to say July 24th. We'll say, that's July 24th. And then the next day, the duels start. So we don't know yet. And then so it's only going to be 1 week. It's going to be July 24th and 25th. The Tuesday show will drop away, and then it'll just be Wednesdays. We will find out what we're going to do that week, whether we're going to do one massive show or 2 individual shows. It's a lot of content because it'll be 1 hour of qualifiers and 2 hours of duels. So
Right.
we'll be here for like 5 hours of an after show. But just to let you guys know, as a programming note, like, things are changing at NBC, and that's kind of new news.
Yeah, interesting. Being replaced with Nick Offerman, who I love.
Who's doing crafts with Amy Poehler.
Yes.
I love it. All right, so what do you have coming up? I know you did So You Think tonight.
Yes, I'm on So You Think, and that is what I've got going on. Yeah, I think right now on AfterBuzz. Yeah,
and AfterBuzz and a dance music video. You're dancing.
Oh yeah. Okay,
I'm
excited to tell you guys about it
soon.
Yeah. When it's out, I'll let you know. Yay,
that'll be great. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we'll have more people at the panel next week.
Yes, and if we don't, we're gonna hold it down for you guys because you guys are so great and you contribute to the combo, and we appreciate it.
Yes, and next week Luca and Jenna Lynn are back.
Yay!
Yes, from season 1. So, and I interviewed them all ahead of time already, so I'll have more information on their return to season 2. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Alrighty, you guys, we're gonna wrap up. Teague, where can everyone find you?
You can find me at TiegeDP. It's TIEGEDP. So I'll see you there. Thanks
Fantastic. And I'm at Kristen Bird on Twitter and the Kristen Bird on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, today, if you missed To The Point, we interviewed Dumbo from Poriotics, and we had Marissa Hart from Marissa and the Heartbreakers from a couple weeks ago when they were on World of Dance. So be sure to check that out. You'll find it on Popcorn Talk, and we will see you guys all next week.
Yay! Thank you, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.